Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Melissa Nager here. I am bringing you some good tips today. Again, it's a beautiful freaking day to be alive. Count your blessings. Today is another day, a fantastic day to share some tips and some common things that we deal with here in either our network marketing business or in our home business or just as entrepreneurs. So happy Wednesday, everybody. Is you're popping on. If you pop in, say hello. Tell me where you're tuning in from, which city and state, and I'll try to give you a shout out and say hello. As always, you can find all of my tips. I do these generally Monday through Friday on this here page, and then I share over to my blog, which is at workingwithmelissa.com. So you can find all of my tips there. But what we're going to talk about today is probably something that everyone has dealt with before in the past. I know if you're in business for yourself, even if you're not, you've probably dealt with this. I mean, at some instance along the way in your life. But we're going to talk about why people don't do what they say, basically. There's always this question that's been around as long as people have been around, basically. Don't Jim Rohn is the person who I look up to a lot. I look at a lot of his stuff and training, and he says, don't sign up for the class. Don't try to figure it out. Just say, isn't that interesting? Don't sign up for that class. Don't try to figure it out. Just say, isn't that interesting? So why do people say they're going to call and they don't? Why do people not follow through on a project when they say they want to do it? And why do they say make an appointment and not show or not answer the phone? So some of the things that we have to do when we deal with this stuff, here's another quote first real quick by Jim Rohn. Character isn't something you were born with and can't change like your fingerprints. It's something you weren't born with and must take responsibility for forming. That is a quote that I really love by Jim Rohn. If you don't know who he is, look him up. He has some really great stuff online. YouTube is chocked full of stuff by him. Really interesting to listen to and very educational, especially if you're in network marketing or you're an entrepreneur or you're running a home business. So ask yourself this first. How does it make you feel when someone stands you up or fails to follow through with something that they promised or just told you that they were going to do? It totally sucks. I know. It makes you mad. It makes you sad. It makes you resentful. None of those are positive emotions. But it's okay to feel that way for like a couple of seconds or whatever, but don't stay in that resentment or that anger or that sadness. Maturity, with maturity comes effective ways to manage your emotions. So learn to treat your success and failures the same and don't get too high or low. That's kind of something that you just kind of learn when you're in business. You kind of tend to fine tune that a little bit. And no matter who you are, where these people are, who these people are, there are always going to be people that disappoint you at some point in your life. It's just a fact of life. It's not going to change. There's never going to be a magic wand that removes all of that from your life. It's just not going to happen. So it's more so how you deal with those things when they come up. Now let's talk about the opposite. When we ourselves don't follow through, how do you think that makes someone else feel? You guessed it, same way, guys. It's the same. We all need to work hard to be the person of character that we want to be and make sure that we're keeping our word to others. That is something that's very near and dear and very important to me, that when I say I'm going to do something, I follow through and I do it. Otherwise, as Jim Rohn said, do not say you're going to do it. Just say, that's interesting. So there's a couple of things that we need to ask ourselves these questions. When someone asks you to do something, do you say yes to control how they perceive you? There's one question you need to ask. Number 2, are you afraid of their disappointment in you? Number 3, do you say yes so they don't get mad or hurt, even though you really don't want to do it? 4, do you say yes thinking you're going to do it, but then after a while you think about it and you're like, nah, never mind, but you don't tell that person you changed your mind? And number 5, do you get afraid to let them know about your decision changing, because you don't want to let them down or just to avoid the situation altogether. So those are some things you need to ask yourself, which, you know, kind of play into that and how the situation plays out. You know, if you do what you want others to do, you're going to start getting a different response from people. If you're a person of your word, people are going to respect you more. It starts with you first, and that's whatever we project outwards comes back to us. If you're an unreliable person and you project negativity, that's what you're going to receive. Project positive energy, character, being a person of your word, and that is what will be attracted to you and will want to follow you and be part of your tribe. So we want to make sure that we do what we say, because it builds integrity, trust, respect, self-worth, personal power. Let's look at each of those. I'm going to talk about each of those things a little bit in depth, just a little bit. I'm not going to make this too long today because there's a lot we could talk about. We could go on and on for hours about this subject, but I try to make these brief so that it provides some value to you without taking up too much of your time. So let's talk about integrity. Your word means something, and people can count on you. This is the foundation of any relationship that you build that's deep in your soul and whatever you call your bond. Integrity is going to lead you to build trust and responsibility. Do you trust someone that doesn't keep their word? No, obviously not. If someone keeps letting you down over and over, it's going to basically make you want to avoid them altogether. Am I wrong? No. I've had these experiences too. That's why I can say with almost complete certainty that you're going to want to avoid that person. The next thing is trust. Trust and respect are really, really powerful. I'm going to give you an example of how powerful it is. When you're dating, how is it in the beginning? The man opens the door for the woman, brings the flowers, the female laughs at the stupid jokes that aren't even really funny, or hold hands even though they don't want to. This is when you guys, as a dating couple, have the most respect, the highest respect for one another. And do you trust each other though? You probably do not have a high level of trust yet because you don't know them very well, and you're not sure yet where this is going to go. You probably don't have a high level of trust. You know, I'm assuming not. I mean, you have no reason to know whether to trust them or not. And on the other hand, what happens after 10, 15, 20 years of being with that same person? Your trust is really high. You know them so well that they can go anywhere and do about anything, and you can trust them in your life. Respect tends to decrease. You might not be, it's just the truth. You're not going to be laughing at the stupid jokes, opening doors, buying flowers, holding hands in public if you don't feel like it. So imagine if we had the respect from the beginning of the relationship, along with the trust of a 15, 20-year marriage and a relationship, how great that relationship would be. Trust and respect are blocks that build the relationship walls to create the security, if that makes sense. So let's talk about self-worth a little bit. When self-worth is when we are secure in our relationship and we have a great sense of confidence about ourselves as our self-worth. We will have a purpose. You'll walk with your head up. You're going to walk like this with your shoulders back. Self-worth is the roof of the relationship house. You got the walls, now you got the roof, and that provides you with protection. Personal power is next. Think about this. This is what happens when our actions reflect what we value. This is energy or electricity that runs through the house. We're building a house, and makes us go our convictions and values, and what will drive us to be more, do more, and not waste time and get to where we want to be with our lives. So if you have, let me ask you this, and go ahead and type in if you want to type while I'm talking, that's fine, answer. Do you have a lot of friends, family, business colleagues that don't keep appointments or disappoint you? Are you being true to yourself by keeping your word to them? If not, change it and see what happens. See how that one small decision and that one small thing that you can tweak will, see what happens. If you already are, you may need to be left alone. because they're not giving to your like. You know, you may have to detach yourself from some people. There are only two types of people in life. They're either givers or takers. So givers are always thinking about others, and takers are only thinking about themselves and what's in it for them. People that are givers are people of their word and real leaders. Look at Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Princess Diana. People followed them, and if they asked someone for a meeting, do you think that people didn't show up or take their phone calls? Nah, no way. Of course not. There's a flip side of that also. You know, the people that come from greed and mistrust. Do you people like them? Are people going to take their phone calls? Are they going to get stood up? Do they want to be around them? No, not usually. You know, I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that money is evil or that greedy people are the equivalent of people with money. I'm just saying the love of money could be the root of all evil. You'd be amazed at what, when you come from a place of giving instead of taking, giving value to others, just as a whole, money will come as a byproduct. If you focus on the greed, the money comes, but the money goes. That's the way it usually works out. I mean, take a look at people you know in history and just think about these things that I'm telling you. You know, just try to remember to be, this is what I'm, you know, people say one thing and do another. It's going to happen. It's how you deal with that in your life that's going to make or break you and lead you to a place of integrity. In summary, let's just say be a person of high integrity, make your word your bond, be genuine, come from a place of giving, and your life and your focus is going to change when you look for the solutions and not the problems. Don't focus on why others don't do what they do or why they do what they do, but focus on what you're doing and how you're reacting, and life will be a lot easier to manage for you in your business, network marketing, or just in life as a whole. So I hope that input brought you some value today. You know, it's really important to love people where they are, and don't, you know, you can't control whether or not someone else is going to do what they say or not do anything at all. I've had that too. You get people, they come in and they say, I'm going to do all this awesome stuff, and then they don't even do anything at all, zero, zilch. So, you know, or they can do the total opposite of what they said. I've had that happen too. So just remember, be a person of integrity, lead by example, and be a giver versus a taker, and all the prosperity will come back tenfold. So I hope that helped you guys today. I hope that was adding some value to your business and to your day. Happy Wednesday. Again, I'll see you guys tomorrow here. I'm really excited. I got a ring light, so I'm going to be able to do a lot better videos. My quality and my lighting is going to be a lot better. So I got to figure that out tonight. And tomorrow we'll have some better quality looking video. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here in my kitchen, or maybe we'll be somewhere else with the light. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.